Hi, I'm Luan Akin with Tagawa Gardens here in Centennial, Colorado. We're here today to talk about orchids. Now, a whole lot of people think that orchids are just for the pros. Orchids are divas. Don't even try to think about growing them if you're just an average gardener. Dee, our house plant queen here at Tagawa Gardens, says no, 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 no. Give them another look, give them a try. Not divas, not so much?
No, they're extremely easy. I tell people if they can grow on a tree, they can grow here in Colorado.
That's confidence building. Where do we start?
Well, you know, the most common one is the Phalaenopsis or the moth orchid. That's the easiest to grow, and it can bloom 3 to 6 months. I've even had them grow up to 9 months, or flower up to 9 months. One thing I tell people to do is just don't repot it. Your first instinct is to repot it, and that's what kills them off pretty fast.
So they come in this little specialty
Ugly,
orchid.
ugly plastic pot.
A little. And you want them to put them in a more decorative pot, but not directly.
Right, we call that a pot within a pot, and you just put some decorative moss over the top of the pot to kind of hide it. So I just loosely placed moss over the top, and then people ask, because orchids send out aerial roots, they get kind of ugly, and they want to cut them off or stick them back down in the soil. I don't advise that. I advise just letting the roots do their things, and then loosely place the moss around those roots so they'll continue to grow.
What else do we need to know other than don't be afraid?
Don't be afraid, don't overwater. The main thing is water thoroughly when you do water, but make sure it's drying out in between waterings. My adage is don't let it go bone dry for an extended amount of time, but let it dry out. And then when you do water it, soak it, submerge it.
Submerge it for several minutes?
Yeah, until it quits bubbling. Usually it's bubble, bubble, and then that's it.
Okay. So many different kinds of orchids. The Phalaenopsis, the moth orchid, probably the easiest. I actually did get one of these to rebloom a couple times. What else? They're just otherworldly. They're so pretty.
Well, of course, my favorite is the lady slipper, or the Paphiopedilum, or there's another one called a frag. Right. Those don't bloom as long, and they're great for terrariums. And they can handle overwatering. A lot of people tend to be an overwaterer. That's the best one for them. Then we have these are Oncidinies. This one's called Royal Robe, has a wonderful scent. The one behind you is a Cataleya, which has a wonderful scent. They don't bloom as long, but they bloom multiple times a year. So you can get 2 or 3 times.
This vaguely reminds me of prom.
Yeah, Cataleya or Cymbidium.
Yeah, exactly.
Smells great. I can smell it.
Oh, it actually does. It really does.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah. And what about the fertilization, the heat, the light, all of that?
So what we're going to do is check your plant for water about once a week. And then about every other watering, you're going to add a weak solution of fertilizer. I advise an all-purpose, which is, I think, the yellow, which is a 20-20-20. Half strength. You can use this on all your house plants. If you want to take it one step further, we have what's called a Grow formula. That's a high nitrogen fertilizer. So when you see new leaves forming on the plant, use the growth formula. Half strength about every other watering. Then once your new leaf is as big or bigger than your old leaves, then you switch over to the bloom formula. Now, bloom will not make it bloom, but it will help it bloom.
Help it bloom. It sounds kind of technical, but people can come here, talk to you. She will hold your hand, hold your little orchid hand. She does classes a couple times a year, Dee, here at Tagawa Gardens, and they are so good. She's such a great teacher, and she would love to teach you everything. Anything we've left out?
The only thing I can think of is remember, once it's done blooming, the Phalaenopsis will continue to flower along the flower spike. So once these buds have fallen off, you can see that one here. It's almost done. There's a few buds on the end, but if they fall off, then it will start sprouting along the stem. And then you just cut just above a sheath, right above it, and that's easy, and then it will send out a new flower spike. If it turns brown, cut it down. If it's green, leave it be.
That's good.
It's a good rule to go by.
Before I let you go, what about light? Any specialty light needed?
Yeah, that's a good question. While they're in bloom, they do not need very much light at all. I advise interior of the room, like on the coffee table, so forth. But once they're done blooming and they're completely done and you see new growth, then you want to inch it so it gets a little bit more light, and it prefers about 4 hours of direct sunlight. So that's in front of an east or a west window, but remember, do it gradual.
Gradually adjust.
Yes.
Don't we all need
Acclimate.
slow adjustment and to acclimate? Dee is indeed the queen of the realm here, the houseplant realm at Tagawa Gardens. Come see her, come see us. We would be so happy to be your gardening inspiration. If you like this video, feel free to share it with a friend, and come see us at TagawaGardens.com for more videos like this. You'll also find us on Facebook and Twitter.